If there is one truth most men ignore, and one truth women never stop responding to, it's this: a masculine man builds his life before he tries to build a relationship. This isn't about being selfish. It's not about being emotionally closed off. It's about embodying the structure feminine energy instinctively trusts. Women don't fall for a man because of what he says. They fall because of what he builds, because what he builds shows who he really is. When a man is focused on purpose, discipline, progress, and leadership, he creates a kind of stability that feminine women feel deep in their nervous system. His life becomes a foundation, solid, intentional, unshakable. And whether she says it or not, women crave that foundation. It allows them to relax into their feminine, to express without fear, to trust without hesitation. But in today's world, most men reverse the order. They chase connection before building character. They chase attention before building direction. They chase women before building themselves. And then they wonder why nothing sticks, why they get ghosted, why everything feels unstable. Because feminine energy cannot trust a man who does not trust his own path. Building your life first means building a mission that is bigger than validation. A mission that pulls you forward when no one is watching. A mission that differentiates you from the masses of men who just talk about potential. A masculine man's life is full of structure. If you truly want to understand feminine attraction on a deep, instinctive level, here's a principle you can never forget. Women are drawn to men who have options, but refuse to be consumed by those options. A masculine man is not overwhelmed by attention. He's not flattered by it. He's not thirsty for it. He evaluates, he chooses, he remains selective. This selectiveness is not arrogance. It's not manipulation. It's not game playing. It's self-respect. When a man becomes selective, he sends a silent message. If you want to understand why some men effortlessly attract women while others chase endlessly with no results, you must understand emotional gravity. Emotional gravity is the silent magnetic force that a masculine man carries, a presence so grounded, so stable, so unreactive that the feminine naturally moves toward it. Women don't fantasize about the man who tries to impress them. They fantasize about the man whose presence feels like an anchor in a chaotic world. Most men chase because they live in emotional instability. Their responses depend on validation. Their mood depends on attention. Their confidence collapses the moment they feel distance. This is the energy of a man who pushes for connection. But feminine attraction doesn't respond to pushing. It responds to pulling. A masculine man doesn't chase because he understands something deeper. The feminine is naturally drawn to what feels strong, stable, and self-contained. When a woman senses emotional gravity, she relaxes. She becomes curious. She leans in. Her mind starts working on its own. Why doesn't he react? Why is he so calm? What's going on inside him? What is his world like? This curiosity is powerful. It draws her back into the interaction again and again, even when the conversation is simple. But emotional gravity doesn't come from pretending. One of the most attractive, undeniable qualities a man can possess is the ability to lead the environments he enters. Not control them, not dominate them, but lead them. Because leadership is not about being loud. It's not about being the center of attention. Real masculine leadership is about setting the tone, directing the energy, and elevating the room simply by being the man who moves with intention. Women notice this instantly. Feminine energy is hypersensitive to social cues. She can walk into a room and immediately pick out the man who is in control without trying, the man who creates gravity, not noise. This is the man who doesn't shrink when attention comes his way, but he also doesn't beg for it. He doesn't. If you want to understand why certain men live rent-free in a woman's mind, why she replays their messages, why she stays curious, why she feels emotionally activated, you must understand the power of contrast. Feminine energy is drawn to emotional variability, not inconsistency, but contrast. The difference between strength and softness, the difference between focus and playfulness, the difference between presence and distance. A masculine man naturally. One of the greatest misunderstandings men have about attraction is believing women only pay attention to how he treats her. In reality, women watch how a man influences the entire room. They notice how his presence impacts his friends, the environment, the energy, and the people around him. A truly masculine man doesn't just elevate his own life, he elevates everyone connected to him. This doesn't mean trying to be a hero, a savior, or a people pleaser. It means embodying a level of standard, discipline, and internal strength that naturally pulls others upward. And when a woman sees that, she feels something powerful: respect. Respect is the hidden doorway to attraction, and masculine leadership is the energy that unlocks it. When you walk into a room as a man who has built himself, his body, his mission, his mindset, you're already ahead of most. But when your energy elevates the men around you, when your conversations make people think deeper, when your discipline inspires your friends, when your mindset challenges them to be more ambitious, that is when a woman sees you not as an option, but as a force. Women are instinctively drawn to men who influence environments instead of being shaped by them. A man who uplifts others shows traits that signal high-value masculine energy. Emotional maturity, confidence without arrogance, leadership without authority games, strength without insecurity, purpose without ego. When a woman sees this, she doesn't just think he's attractive. She thinks he's a man other men look up to. And that changes everything. Because when a man elevates others, he reveals something deeper. He isn't threatened by other people's success. He isn't competitive in a desperate way. He isn't trying to prove himself. He simply is. His growth becomes the rising tide that lifts everyone in the room. His discipline becomes the standard others start following. His ambition sparks ambition in his peers. His presence becomes the calm, grounding energy people rely on. And this is where the feminine mind naturally shifts from curiosity to admiration, and from admiration to desire. To a woman, the man who uplifts others represents long-term stability. He represents potential. He represents a partner who isn't ruled by insecurity or ego, but by vision and purpose. This is the kind of man she can build a life with, because his ability to strengthen others means he will naturally strengthen her. She sees a man who pushes others toward their higher selves, and she knows he will expect the same from her in a way that inspires, not controls. This makes her feel safe, supported, and challenged in the best possible way. And the truth is, women crave this dynamic more than they'll ever admit. A man who elevates the world around him will always elevate the woman beside him. A masculine man makes people rise, not because he's trying to, but because that's just who he is.